There are 5 common mistakes that veterans make when they're filing their VA disability claims. We're going to cover those. Stick around because all 5 of these are extremely important. The last one is a real big kicker. Let's get into it. All right, we're talking today about 5 pitfalls when you're submitting your VA claims for disability. So let's just jump right into it so we can get going here. Pitfall number 1, incomplete or inaccurate documentation. One of the most common things that veterans miss is they don't get all the documentation put together in their first claims until they get used to the process. Listen, read all of it. Get all your necessary records, including medical records, service records, other supporting documents, buddy statements, everything. Anything that can prove your connection between your service and your diagnosed disability. Keep copies of all these things. They will come in handy. I promise you're going to need them. All right, number 2, missing deadlines. You need to get your claims in as quickly as possible, right? Where I see the missing deadlines happen the most is when we're doing supplemental claims or asking for a higher level review. So if you have a claim and you put it in and you get denied, make sure within that year, so March to March, May to May, January to January, within that year, make sure that you file that supplemental claim or get that higher level review going, because that is going to keep your original effective date. Also, if you're looking for, having a conference, an informal conference or an informal meeting with senior raters about things, keep those timelines. Make sure that you stay on their timeline. If you may have to take a day off work, you may have to come off a vacation to do something. You may have to make some sacrifices to make sure you stay in between those deadlines. So make sure you do that, okay? Number 3, not seeking professional assistance. Now, I'm not talking about going and paying for a claims company. I don't believe in paying for those. The only people that you should ever have to pay for any services, quite honestly, is if you get to your last wit's end and you have to get an attorney and then shop around. Make sure you get the best bargain, right? So when I say getting professional assistance, I'm talking about going to a VSO. Somebody who is qualified to represent you. They can look at all your records inside the VA. They are trained. They handle these claims on a day-to-day basis. For the most part, they've filed almost everything out there if they've been on the job for a while. So leverage the expertise of a VSO when you can. If the VSO can't even get it done for you and you believe you have a solid claim, that's when you start looking for legal representation. Look for that attorney. Again, I'm not going to condone any of these claims help companies that are charging you crap tons of money so that you can go and get a claim done. You can get it done yourself. Just have to follow the rules, pay attention, be thorough. Pitfall number 4, not linking your disabilities to your service. Listen, if you have sleep apnea and you can't link it back to anything in your service with solid evidence, you're not going to get it. I hate saying that, but a lot of veterans go in and they think, oh, well, my back hurts now. Well, why does your back hurt? What happened in service that could have made your back hurt, right? Were you tossed from concussion from a grenade or some other explosive and it flew you up off the ground and you landed your back on a 2x4 somewhere and you went to medical and said, man, I can't move my back, and they checked you out, they documented it. That's great. That's awesome. Now you have a basis to build on. But from the minute that happened to the minute you claim your file, make sure that you have seen the doctor, seen a medical professional over and over. One of the things that I highly recommend, now they're not going to make or break any single claim that you have, but I still highly recommend them, is getting buddy statements or lay statements, right? Especially if you can get them from people that you served with and they can corroborate your story. And if you can get a buddy statement from a workplace, that's a big deal as well. Getting one from your spouse can help, but it's not going to hold as much weight if you think about it. Most spouses are going to be like, heck yeah, I'll write whatever you want me to write. Just tell me where to sign. So that doesn't always work. But somebody from your work that's an official, hey, this affects so-and-so's work, in that they cannot sit during our meetings, or they cannot, sit in a crowded room with us without having a mental health episode, etc. Those things are big. Buddy statements from when you were in the military. Hey, when, my name is Corporal so-and-so, and when I was in the Marine Corps with XXX, we were stationed together and we were in the same barracks. And I knew from the first day that I met him, I kept waking him up saying, dude, you're stopping breathing. Dude, you're stopping breathing. So sleep apnea, yes, he has it. He's had it since service. Those things come in very handy, but only if you have the corroborating medical evidence, which leads us to number 5, and the most important one, in my opinion. Don't underestimate the importance of medical evidence. And I'm not talking about, hey, my back hurts because I had to walk around with a rucksack on, and I went to sick call twice in 6 years about it, and then 15 years afterward I go to a chiropractor and say, oh, my back's hurting really bad. Listen, you're going to have to be better than that, right? You're going to have to show a progression from the time that you had the injury. Right? From that initial service-connecting injury, you're going to have that time. Also, don't go to the doctor once. Don't be a one and done, right? You go to the doctor, you go to the doctor again, you go to the doctor again. Get follow-ups. Every time that you go see a medical professional, bring up everything that's going on. Hey, anything you want to update me with? Yes, absolutely. My back is still in pain, just like I complained last time that I was here. It gives me fits from time to time. Here's how often it happens. The other day I had to lay down because I couldn't get up, and I had to take a muscle relaxer, and I had to lay there until my back came up. It caused me to miss work. Don't underestimate getting all that medical evidence put together, and it's your job to let your medical professionals know what's going on. The other thing with the medical evidence is, if it comes down to it, you can go get an IMO, an independent medical opinion. And those IMOs are nexus letters. And you're going to have to bring all of your medical evidence to them, let them do a review, bring the research, anything that you have found, bring that to them. Now, IMOs can cost money. If you can find a way to get a doctor who won't charge you for doing an IMO, great for you, right? I've never had that happen to me. So, but they are a next step if you can't seem to find the right way to connect the dots. An IMO can absolutely help you. All right, that's what we got for today. Hey, I appreciate you sticking around. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and we'll check on you later. See ya.